Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's the part 2 of the Honda Accord rebuild. In today's video, I'm gonna get it up on the frame machine and start doing the framework on this thing. I should have all the framework done in today's video, so let's get started. Alright guys, so now that we got the car up on the frame machine, now it is time to get it up on the clamps and start working on the front end. And I will show you guys that this was a light damage. What it looks like, it shouldn't be too hard to fix. The frame rails are probably shifted and one of the frame rails is a little bent, but that's no problem. I should be able to straighten it out. Let's get started. Alright guys, the car is up on the clamps. Everything is nice and secure. Now let's proceed with disassembling the whole front end. Alrighty guys, so now that everything is cleared out, all the wires are out of the way, the radiator is out, the condenser, everything is out. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull the whole frame right here, wrap a strap or a chain around here, pull this whole thing because I did take some measurements and the frame is off just by, I don't know, about a ½ an inch, which is not that bad. And so is the top section. I have to pull it out first back to its spot and then start drilling it out, and we can go ahead and replace the new one. Alrighty guys, so the frame is pretty much pulled, and this side might be looking a little higher than this, and that is because this crash bar is bent up a little bit, but the frame rail is perfect. I know that for sure. And so now, as you guys seen, when I was pulling, I was hitting this side with a big sledgehammer. The reason for that is when the car gets in an accident, basically the frame rail is pushed that way, and when I'm pulling it back, I always have to pull it past the original point, and then it's always helpful to tap it a few times. That way metal has, I guess, some kind of metal memory, and it just, when you hit it, it gives it a little bit more pressure and it helps it to sit back in its place. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that's pretty much what I do all the time. And let me show you guys how the diagonals look. So I'm gonna go from that point right there. It's gonna be pretty hard to do this myself, but and here is this side. It's the center of the bolt. And then from this point to that side, let's see if I can do this. All right, right there, center of the bolt. And now also let's check the radiator support. I'm gonna go from this bolt to the other side. So once again, going from that point right there to this point, and same with the other side, and to this point. It's perfect. So now I think I can go ahead and remove this old radiator support because it is bent right here. I'm not gonna waste my time trying to fix it because a new one is like 80 bucks or something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the crash bar first and see what's the damage underneath, Then we'll start removing the old radiator support. Alrighty guys, the radiator support is off. It was actually pretty simple to take it off. I bought me a tool. This is a spot weld sander, I guess. Basically you go right up against the spot weld and it pretty much sands it for you. I don't have to drill it out or whatever. It's pretty easy, but anyway, this side looks good. Everything here looks perfectly fine, but this side, the frame rail, is a little bit bent right here. This is really no big deal. I am gonna I have this special tool right here. Basically it spreads it out. I'm gonna probably put it in there and hopefully I can spread it out and straighten it out. Alrighty guys, so as you guys seen earlier, I tried a couple different options here and they all didn't work, so I just had to cut it out pretty much like that and straighten it out. Here it is. It looks perfect. I'm gonna put some primer on the inside, that way it doesn't rust. And before I do that, I have to go pick up the paint for the radiator support because I will paint it, and also the primer. I'm gonna primer everything, and then we can start test fitting the radiator support. Alrighty guys, the weld through primer is on and everything looks nice and perfect. I think it's about dry, and I also went ahead and painted the radiator support. It is right here. I'll just give it a few minutes to dry up. I did paint it with the matching spray can that I ordered from the local paint store, so looks good. And now we are ready to test fit this part. Alright guys, so the radiator support is on, and by the measurements I took, everything should be aligning perfectly fine. But before I start welding it, I'm gonna go ahead and swap the hood out and mount the fenders, the headlights, and see if everything aligns perfect. And if it does, we can weld the radiator support. Alright guys, so most of the parts are on the car. I couldn't throw the bumper on because this grill is damaged over here, and I am missing the lower bracket for the bumper. But also this grill is damaged up here, so I couldn't really, I just threw it on there just to see how it looks. But all the gaps other than the grill look really good. I'm very happy with how they look. So I think now it is time to start welding the radiator support. Alright guys, so everything grinded, welded, and I already put some seam sealer on it. I'm gonna let it dry overnight, then I'm gonna have to scuff it down real quick and paint all the spots. The reason why I'm doing this to this car, because it's pretty much like my car. I'll just get it completely done, and like I mentioned in the first video, this is my sister's car. She's just gonna come pick it up and this car will be ready to go. Alrighty guys, it is the next day, and I actually painted the radiator support yesterday before I left. That way everything dries up and everything looks perfect, both sides. I took this fender off and the hood, I had to jam them out. That way the painter don't have to paint the inside. But everything looks perfect. Now it's time to reassemble everything and take this car to the paint shop. Alrighty guys, so this is the final gaps. Check all these gaps out. This looks perfect. The bumper fits perfect. It's not bolted down yet, but you will be. This bracket is good. I'm missing this bracket on this side. I am going to pick it up from the dealership here in a little bit, and it should pick up the bumper, so it'll be perfect. And over here the bumper is not mounted yet, but everything else, the hood could go down just a hair. I'm not worried about that. I'll do that after it's painted. But from what it looks like, all these gaps look perfect. Alright guys, so now that the car is off the frame machine, I already went ahead and picked up the bracket that goes under the headlight. So I'm going to go ahead and install that. And also the SRS module came in, so I will be installing that as well. And finally, the antifreeze, will be pouring some of that in there as well. So let's go ahead and install this first. Alright guys, so the SRS module is installed, and now is the moment of truth. Let's go ahead and start the car and see if the SRS light is gone. So I just remembered guys, I'm still waiting on my driver airbag. So this the SRS light will still be on there. There's no point of checking. It is right there. Yeah, it's not gonna come off. So when my driver airbag shows up, I will install it and then it should work. But as of right now, let's go ahead and install that bracket that goes under the headlight. Alright guys, so that is it. everything is installed, everything fits perfect. So the next step is taking this car to the paint shop, and in the next video I will be assembling the car complete. So it should be done in the next video. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for today's video. I finally went ahead and finished the framework on this Accord. It was actually a very light hit, as I mentioned in the first video. Radiator support was the main damage. It just had to be replaced, and the frame rail had a little section that had to be straightened out. So that is going to be it guys. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like my videos, share them with your friends, and follow me on Instagram at Rebuild with Nick. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.